What's happening, everybody? Um, this is going to be a very different and unusual type of guest video today. And y'all gotta forgive me because I know I'm looking busted as hell, but I'm still laying down. Just wanted to talk a little bit about yesterday. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of you that heard about this attempt on Trump's life, the shooting, and when I got in from work yesterday, I was able to relax a little bit, but me and my daughter were going to watch something, but this was on. Please shut your door. Sorry. Um, and so uh, this incident was going on, and so it was a security incident. The incident occurred during the White House Correspondents' Dinner at the Washington Hilton. Um, A gunman identified as 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen reportedly rushed toward the ballroom while guests were dining, and they showed, everybody ducking and them trying to make sure that the president was okay. So it was reported that Trump was unharmed, though he fell briefly while being rushed off stage by security service agents. One of the agents was said to have gotten struck. Um, so, not really sure in regards to that, but the vest, I guess he got shot in the vest. And the suspect, Mr. Allen, was taken into custody and was found to be carrying multiple weapons, guns, shotguns, handguns, knives. Um, the motive, they say, is still under investigation. I would say that the motive was that he wanted him dead, okay, or at least badly harmed. Anyhow, um, um, there's just some things that interested me, and I'm hot. Um, got the heat up, and I got this sweat top on, but there were some things I think that I just feel like there's a lot of people that are frustrated when it comes to things that are going on nowadays. And I guess Trump is just an easy target to take frustrations out on. And there are people that really are, they just don't like him. From my understanding, also, he is the first president of all the presidents, I believe, except possibly one other that is not related by bloodline in some type of way. So Trump, has raised an eyebrow or two for some with specific things that he has said that are pretty um well, what's the word that I want to use for this? He's saying some things that raise an eyebrow, basically. Okay, like he laughs about a lot of the things, like says these things in a joking way, where he's made comments about wanting to let me see, there was something he said in January of 2026. He remarked during a speech in Davos that sometimes you need a dictator, though he often frames this like in a joking way. Okay. um and a dictator for a day to accomplish specific policies, goals like border security and energy production. Now, my thing is, I think that we've kind of known for a long time that Trump does have uh, some power control issues, okay? He's made comments about king rhetoric, all right? On April the 1st, Trump made a comment about being called the king, saying, I'm a king. I can't get a ballroom approved. If I was a king, we'd be doing a lot more, different things like that. And even though he says it in a joking way, I really believe that this is something that he wants to take America back to a time where we're under dictatorship. Now, if you're here, just hold on because I know I am a tarot channel, yet I'm talking about political things with Trump and this whole shooting. Okay. The thing is, I have some information for you guys about this, and I want you to understand where I'm coming from when I talk about this. Okay. Um, if you are not really informed about how the Americas were uh, first brought about, like coming from under the rulership or dictatorship of the Queen of England um, in a monarchy, um, we were trying to get away from that. That's why America was created or came into being, why it was founded. Um, we did not want to be under the sole dictatorship of one leader, one ruler. And I think that that idea has been very appealing for Trump because there are things that he stated when he first got into office with this Project 2025, specific plans that he has and has said. Okay. And if you look at it, it basically, Project 2025 is a roadmap created by the Heritage Foundation, and it proposes a massive expansion of presidential authority. He's there was a girl that I was following that was going through the book and was breaking it down, all these different things that we could expect upcoming for the term of his presidency and what would follow if he was put in office again. I think that people did not take this man seriously. They really didn't. And so now we are actually starting to see these things come into fruition where whoever voted for him, maybe they're fine, but there's those that were not. But I guess people really just did not do enough to keep him out of office. And so there's the reclassifying tens of thousands of civil service workers as political appointees to ensure loyalty. Okay. Also stated in Project 2025, bringing independent agencies like DOJ and FBI under direct presidential control. He wants to have sole control. That is not good for one person to have that much power and control. Um, Using the Insurrection Act to deploy the military for domestic law enforcement. So, what I did was calculations when it comes to Trump. So, looking at the astrological landscape for 2026, um, and this just goes into what a lot of astrological practitioners have looked into when it comes to Trump's birth chart. The 12th house in Saturn, Trump has a heavy concentration of planets in his 12th house associated with secrets. And this is with Saturn associated with secrets, hidden enemies, and undoing with Saturn transitioning through this area in 2026. Most astrologers have often predicted a period of intense legal pressure and karmic reckoning. Okay, where past actions catch up to the individual. So there's a lot of things that I feel are the reason why there's been these attacks now on Trump because of past things. Like his karmic energy is definitely catching back up to him. Okay. Then we have Uranus in Gemini, and Uranus is going to be moving into Gemini soon. So Uranus moving into Gemini for Trump, who is a Gemini, that's his sun sign, okay, because his birthday is June 14th, 1946. Okay, he's a Gemini. So this transit, beginning in mid 2025, continuing to through into 2026, suggests extreme vitality, but I'm sorry, validity. It's sudden, unpredictable shifts in his public image. I don't know if there's going to be a softening or this him gaining more backbone with what it is that he wants to do. But it's going to be a change in his public image and his communication style. This is often seen as like with that sign, a disruptor transit that is going to be happening. Everyone is going to be affected by Uranus moving into Gemini, regardless to what you think. Planets are moving, and they do have effect on what happens with us. So the eclipse cycle for him, um, August 2026 solar eclipse is expected to hit sensitive points in the U.S. Sibley chart and Trump's own Leo rising. Okay, eclipses are traditionally viewed as like that wild card. So this is going to bring sudden endings, dramatic changes in leadership. I know that there was on the Simpson cartoon show some kind of prediction that was made where what's her name? Can't think of her name. But she ends up becoming the president because Trump dies. I don't know how true that actually is going to be because the Simpsons have been predicting a lot of things as far as what's going to happen, like in the world, different things. So by late summer, that's going to be a definite turning point. It's going to be some stuff that we need to be aware of that's going to happen around August. Okay. So um, there's, if you don't have a copy of the 2025 project, I would definitely say look into it. How you doing? Thank you for coming to my live. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get too many people in here for this, but I just wanted to note this because of the president shooting that happened last night. Um, I wanted to kind of add some different things that I feel may be stuff that we need to try and be aware of for up, the future, just near future upcoming events. Um, the Project 2025 emphasizes reclassifying civil servants as political appointees. And so in August 2026, there is a total solar eclipse, like I said, in Leo for Trump. This hits his first house of identity and authority directly. So historically, Leo eclipses signify the fall or rise of kings, and he's talked about wanting to be a king. Okay, so this window suggests a massive non negotiable assertion of personal power or a sudden challenge to his executive status. So I don't know what's going to end up happening with his presidency, but there's some things I think that we really need to be aware of and take a look at. Then we have Pluto returns, and this is residuals and national identity. So there'll be this ongoing efforts to decentralize federal agencies, like him moving them out of DC as proposed in Project 2025. People are not taking this man seriously. And I think that what happened was when he got into office, they were trying to figure out how they could go about doing it. That was just the trial run. But once he got back into office again for a second term, he really got on his shit and was like, "Okay, how you doing? Um, thank you for coming to my live." He really, with his party, figured out how they could actually put Project 2025 into motion. So what I'm looking at is the United States is still processing its Pluto return, okay? Um, and it's returning to the same spot that it was in 1776, in like 80 something years, I believe. Pluto governs power, secrets, and total transformation. So this transit usually coincides with a tearing down to rebuild. This would be considered the Tower card, okay, in tarot. So throughout 2026, Pluto is in Aquarius, the sign of revolution and radical restructuring. This suggests that the norms of the US government are being permanently rewritten. And if you look at the way that things have been going in the United States, so many different things have been changing, and so many people have been getting frustrated and upset with the way that Trump has been doing things because it has been so different than what they've normally seen within the government. How you doing? Thank you again for coming to my live and the crowns. I like the crowns, you guys. Thank you. So also with Uranus and Gemini, this is the information war. Okay, um, there will be increased control over media, the internet, and educational curriculum. Okay. Trump's sun is in Gemini, like I said, and the Uranus is the planet of chaos and sudden change. So it's crossing over it. Okay. It's crossing over it. And this is one of those all or nothing type of transits. It can represent a breakthrough in communication or a total breakdown of truth. So for the country, this suggests for 2026 will be a year of extreme um, volatility in how information is shared and what the public believes. So I would definitely say that there's some things that we need to look at for ourselves, because my main thing is wanting to give some form of information in regards to how we, the people, can actually get ourselves prepared for the shifts. So, preparing for the shifts for 2026 requires a move from external reaction to internal sovereignty. With the chaos of Uranus and Gemini and the structural overhauls suggested in Project 2025, the most effective equipment is digital and mental independence. Okay. This means that securing your own information, vetting your sources, like really figuring out how reputable those sources are that you get, and building tangible and local resources so that you're less dependent on um, volatile federal systems, and really trying to find a way to break free from all of that. Okay, it mm, may take some doing, but it's possible. Okay, it's definitely possible. Um, it's also learning how to cultivate your own emotional regulation through a consistent wellness routine. It's no longer just this whole thing of self care, it's being very strategic about the necessity to maintain clarity, while others in the United States are at this high alert type of way. Ultimately, we're looking at major transits in Leo solar eclipse that's going to challenge traditional leadership. this man is really trying to do things differently than other presidents have done. And I'm pretty sure that you guys can see it. He makes some very, very radical moves. Okay. So by focusing on physical health, local community, and your own personal shadow work, you can ensure that your stability will be more rooted in your own life rather than unpredictable actions that end up coming across from those that are in power. Um, there's so much that I think we need to also look at. And again, this is where your birth chart too plays a part in things. There's other astrologers who are way better at doing this stuff than I am. And they do world predictions. I don't know how many of you have, but they look into birth charts and so forth. But knowing your birth chart, I believe, especially with the transits that are coming up, mostly with Uranus going into Gemini, is so important to see, know, and understand these things so that you can have a way to be prepared. Um, I would give you, wait a minute, I would give you a shout out if I had my glasses on. Let me see. This is JAGEZZ, I think 123. Want to give a shout out to you. Okay. I appreciate you guys for coming to my live. I know this probably isn't the most exciting one, but again, just wanted to say something in regards to the shooting and the shooting attempt on Trump's life, and looking at his birth chart and seeing astrologically where things like this may have been predicted. And I feel like it is with Saturn. He's having to pay retribution for a lot of actions that he's taken in the past. So it's like that karmic cycle that he's on. He's getting back a lot of what he has pushed out there. Okay. Um, if you know that your time of birth, it's very important to be able to get the accuracy of your birth chart. Know your time of birth. Get your birth chart done. I can do your birth chart if you know your time of birth, and it has to be exact. But this actually will, you're welcome. This actually will help you in regards to understanding the planetary transits, the aspects, the trines, all those things, the conjuncts, all those things, and how they affect you, and what you should be tuned into, what you should be looking to do, and how you can use these different changes to your benefit. Okay. Because I think something like this, not that, we could say that it should have been known, or that it shouldn't have been a surprise. Who knows? I remember back when President Reagan was in office, and him and his wife Nancy always talked about getting their chart done, and how they never made a move in the morning until they got their reading and they knew what to expect that day, so they knew how to go about carrying on business. And when I was a Christian, I was like, oh my God, like that's just demonic, and it's crazy, and who would do that? And not understanding that because the planets actually dictate the things that happen with us, especially when you understand where the planets fell, where they were aligned to you in your particular place of birth and your time of birth, how when they start to change and they go into the different houses, and what those different houses represent, what the different planets represent, how all those things affect you, I clearly understand now better, because I'm seeing things for myself play out in my own life with different things that are happening and occurring. And so I feel like when you are able to see things from an astrological point of view, you definitely have a vantage point when it comes to understanding or being able to predict upcoming events, because you can get ahead of it And I also feel like if there is not, there probably is someone who is in Trump's party that possibly may be into astrology and has predicted some of the best ways of being able to go about doing things, which is why they were able to draw out that Project 2025 and do the things that they're doing because they see that the things that they would be doing would um, be easier. I won't really say easier, but that there would be more of a push for things to go in the way that they want based on the astrological planetary alignment. And so there's just, that whole aspect of things. But anyway, for those of you that, came in, I know that this probably was not going to be the biggest or the most viewed live. But I wanted to just put that out there because a lot of this, looking at Trump's chart, shows that this is stuff that was something that could have, actually been predicted. And even the things that he's trying to do, we should be looking in the future, especially like I said, around August, late summer, for more things like this to be happening where you're going to start to see sudden drastic changes happening within the government, so that it will be no surprise, but just individually how you could potentially be able to prepare yourself for those changes. So, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, I would be so pleased if you would do so right now. Hit that subscription button, hit your notification bell so that you know the next time I upload a video. I am taking a mild break because I do want to take a little bit of a breather because I have school. My classes start back up next month on the 4th, and I've been really, really tired. Uh, just I've got a bit of a rigorous schedule, and I want tarot to be fun, but I also want it to be something that is informational and interesting. And I also do it for healing to help people. And I can't do it and give healing energy if I'm in a place where I'm not rested myself. So I give you guys information that I follow myself. When I need a break, I have to take a break and I have to pour into myself with my own wellness. So I hope you guys do the same thing. But thank you for those of you that have subscribed to my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you and hope to reach 1,000 subscribers at some point very soon. Really just trying to see this channel grow and continue to do these things. If you are looking for a reading or your birth chart done, you can reach me at ivyvebeztarot@gmail.com. Um, I am beginning to put my information in the description box as far as what I charge for readings and so forth. But I'm going to get out of here because I really am still tired and I want to get some more rest before I get my day started. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I wish you all a blissful day. And until the next time, my loves, be well.